you're going to get two of us for the price of one. My daughter's name was on the list, but you didn't seem to mention it. So we're both here. My name's Christina Gilman, and this is
Caitlin,
Caitlin. How old are you?
9,
And where do we live?
Rainier Vista.
We want trails.
Yes.
Yes, we want trails. We support Cheesty Trails. We support the perimeter trails on the parks property with a restored buffer area on the SHA property. We support connecting community via cross trails through the woods. Also, I will add that I assisted in gathering signatures for the supporting petition that Pat received a couple of months ago. In doing that, I went door to door in our neighborhood and I spoke to a number of my neighbors. Every single person that I spoke with who knew of the project was in support of it. Not all of them can come to these meetings and voice that support. So I would reference you to that petition and the papers that I collected with all the signatures of my neighbors who want this park and these trails. Thank you.
Thank you. So Imogene is going to defer to me. I think I'm next on your list. I'm Susan Zeman. I am not a biker. I am a neighbor of this space. I am a mother. I am an educator. I am a nurse. And I am an environmentalist. And for all of these reasons, I think it's important that children, let me lower this so I can look at my notes. I think it's really crucial for all of us that urban children connect with the woods. I don't want to move my family out to the suburbs because I'm an environmentalist and I don't want to be driving back and forth all the time. But I do think it's important that my child have a natural connection so that she can grow up to be an environmentalist just like me. Excuse me. Also, I don't want us to nitpick this project to death out of fear and out of mythology and out of process complaints. I mean, we could do that forever. But I do want us to think big. I want us to think creatively. I want us to think about cross trails. I want to think about all of the many, many ways that we can utilize to bring children into this space. And that includes mountain bike trails, it includes ADA accessible trails, it includes pedestrian trails, it includes as many different ways as we can think of to utilize this space. I know a previous speaker talked about crime prevention, and I want to point out that crime prevention means that we need to have positive human activity in this space. So that means cross trails. That means having more and more humans in the space learning about the environment in their own backyard so that they can do that. Another previous speaker seemed to think that because we live in a diverse and a working class neighborhood, we don't have a right to crime prevention strategies, and I want to wholeheartedly say that we do, and that's a big motivating factor in this project. We want community. Thank you. Thank you. Jim Jefferson and then Celeste Truman.
Hi, I'm Jim Dennison, a neighbor and a forest steward. I want to echo the thanks that some of the people said to PAT members for their time. I've been in all these meetings too, and we've all sat here and listened to a lot of talking. I also want to thank the community members that have showed up to these meetings, the actual community members that live nearby. I wanted to first say that I went on the walk, and that was cool. It was good to see the feedback received and actually acted on to kind of adjust to the situation that you have there. And I've worked on a number of trails, both hiking and biking, and it's a living creature. You know, it's hard to just say that trails are going to be here and we'll just look at it on paper and talk about it, and that's how it's going to be. So getting out and field with everybody and with the geotech people, that was very encouraging. It's a give and take. I mean, that's how a process like that works. The other thing I wanted to comment on, and not just a nitpick on this, but the 72-hour maintenance thing it's an indicator we want to have checks and balances, but I don't want to see checks and balances in place to cause failure. I'm a volunteer, I work on trails. I see the responsiveness for places like Goofy Park where you'll see the emails go out or the Facebook post, it'll say, there's a tree down on the trail or there's a drainage issue. Please stay off that trail, we'll be there Saturday to fix it. And they're very responsive about that. And volunteers will descend on that area and take care of it immediately. So I don't think we have to worry about that, but I just want to have a realistic setting in place so that we're accountable as the people that are taking care of it, but it's not set up for failure. So thank you.
Thank you. Celeste Gilman and Monica Duke.
Hello, my name's Celeste Gilman. This is my daughter, Paella. This weekend, we went for a walk in Cheesty Mountain View. It's the first time we've done that in 3 months. It doesn't seem like very far away from our neighborhood in Rainier Vista, but with a 3.5-year-old, it's a long way, crossing a really big and dangerous road. We had such a wonderful time walking in the restored forest, listening to the birds, watching the squirrels. We spent about 10 minutes looking at moss. Did you like the moss? That was really cool. We want to be able to do that every weekend. And if there is a trail in the green space across from our house, then we will do that. This comment you've received, and have been receiving over the many times, I think there's a huge clash of ideologies between those who believe that humans can be good stewards of nature, can live in harmony with nature, that human effort can actually enhance the natural environment, and those who believe that humans are inherently evil and destructive and apart from nature. I believe that humans are part of nature, and that our actions can actually enhance the natural environment, and that Mountain View shows that already, that the Friends of Cheesty at Mountain View have already proven that they can do that, that we can do that. So thank you for all your time, and we have been giving all of our time, so much that she runs up for public comment at 3.5. We've spent hours and hours and hours at meetings for this because we believe in the life of getting into the forest, walking out our front door, and being able to have that access. So thank you, and we need community and safety trails so that it's accessible and connecting and safe for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Lisa Miller, or Monica Duke, I'm sorry, and then Lisa Miller.
Hey, Cindy Freeland.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Monica Duke. I live right next door to the Rainier Vista Park entrance, so I'm in the house immediately next to that. I want to thank you for all your effort on the PAT, and also just to say that I continue to support this project as somebody who lives right next door. I would continue to like to see greater cross trails, and I hope that this can be the beginning of something bigger and more allowing greater access. This process has allowed me to connect with new neighbors and to invest in my neighborhood in a new way, and I hope that that will be the experience of more people in Rainier Valley when they see what's possible with Cheesty Green Space. One of the big issues that I think is not being discussed much is the way in which environmental degradation or lack of appropriate process are being used to counter this effort when both of these are simply not accurate. One of the objections that is not being mentioned is that Cheesty has been used as a buffer to keep Beacon Hill, and specifically Cheesty, separated from low-income and subsidized housing residents who live immediately below it. This is not a reason to keep this project from moving forward. I want this to be the beginning of empowerment and connecting all members of our community to this precious space, just as it has done for me and my family. This is an opportunity to get more people to invest, to care about Rainier Valley, and to commit to positively impacting our community. Thank you. Thank you.
Lisa Miller, Skip Knox, and Brian Knox.
Thank you for all of your hard work that led to us being able to comment tonight on this project. I am Lisa Miller. I'm the Executive Director of the Washington Student Cycling League. We are a youth empowerment program through mountain biking. My full-time job is kids. So I am here on behalf of the youth in the city of Seattle. In our program, we have 275 youth student riders. Less than 5% of those riders are in the city of Seattle. Why? Because of the lack of direct access to trails. 78% of our high school students report that they have never participated in sports ever before. 36% of their parents started cycling because of their children's participation in our program. This sport is bringing families together through positive outdoor experiences and getting people off of the couch and disconnected. Our student athletes also report that they're making better food choices because of mountain biking. They report improved interpersonal relationships and they succumb less to peer pressure. They also report greater fitness and improved GPAs. Mountain biking is a low-impact sport. It's fun when the kids do it. They're doing it because of the social rewards that they gain from it. They don't even realize that they're improving their physical health and fitness. And they don't even realize that they're bringing mom and dad into the sport because of their participation. So these trails will make huge strides towards combating the nature deficit disorder that our urban youth are succumbing to and experiencing. It's real, and these trails will help combat that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to set my own recorder up because the notes in the previous meetings don't match what I said. And I'd like to ask Doug, will you agree that we can correct the record that's been created prior to this because our comments are not accurate?
Yes, that's fine. Send me that. Send me what you want to have in the meeting report instead.
Thank you. Brian's a little bit older now. He was cute when he was little. And he would say tonight that he enjoyed riding BMX bikes. And I was fed from the proceeds of sales of Schwinn and Raleigh bikes when I was younger. My family owned franchises and sold those bikes. I own a couple mountain bikes now, and I've wrecked a couple of 650 PSAs when I was riding where I shouldn't have been. I don't hate bikes. I don't hate mountain bikes or other riders. But there are places to put mountain bikes, and Cheesty is not one of them. If, in fact, the argument that the mountain bike folks are going to be the ones who will draw in the people to do the volunteer work to maintain the trails that's built. A 9-year-old on his way to school, balloon tires, isn't going to ride a mountain bike trail to get to school. A commuter on a 126 thin wheeled bike is not going to ride a gravel trail one way to get to work and ride some other way to get home. It's a disconnect that hasn't been really highlighted in this conversation so far. So who is going to maintain the park trail if it's built? It is not going to be many of the bike riders that we're trying to attract. If there's to be a track at all, it has to be a bunny trail, and that's not going to be what's going to bring in the excited mountain bike riders. I know, I've ridden Dookie, I've ridden Colonnades. Colonnades is a disaster. The park department is responsible for taking care of that park right now, and it is not doing it. The volunteers that used to do it and build it are no longer there. What's going to happen if they find something more fun to ride sooner or later, near or farther away from Cheesty? We've got the same problem. So this stewardship just isn't there for this project, and it should not go forward. Thank you.
Thanks.